Solaire isn't crazy. He made a mistake with the bug, sure, but he's not crazy. Listen and you'll find out why. What is Solaire looking for? A sun. The sun in Dark Souls isn't the same as the sun in our world. In Dark Souls there can be light in one place, but not in another, even though both places are under the same sky at the same time. The light of Gwyn's sun is not powered by the energy of a burning star that makes its way across the sky. In Dark Souls, the light of the sun is connected with what happens on the earth. So, if Solaire is trying to find his own sun, what does he mean? First, let's look at what he does. He is questing. Not only that, but his quests lead him to places where the sun couldn't possibly reach. If the sun was the same as in our world, we would have to admit he was crazy before his encounter with the Maggot. Indeed, from the moment we met him.
You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.
Which is possible, but let's assume that Solaire's ambition isn't crazy, that it's possible to find his own sun. What could it mean? The world of Dark Souls is fading. The Age of Fire was a time of plenty, but now there are only embers. We can still see this fire at various points in the game. Our quest revolves around fire, and we even burn ourselves at the first flame. Who is the Lord of the Age of Fire? Gwyn. What is the name of his soul? The soul of fire? No. His is the soul of light. The fire is what burns fuel, which then gives light, providing the sunlight with which all can see. Except in Dark Souls, what is burning is the sacrifice of the living. Unlike in our world, where sacrifice in service of society mostly takes the form of time, energy, and resources, in the world of Dark Souls, the sacrifice to bring light to the world is a bodily sacrifice. Look at the bonfires. There are human bones at the base. When we kindle the flame, we burn a sprite at the bonfire, the sprite of humanity. We must sacrifice a little of our soul. Solaire is looking for a sun that he can sacrifice to. There can be many suns. The gods have departed Anor Londo, which is dark, but wherever Guinevere is, there is surely a sun above her. The exiled Firstborn Son seems to have a sun, according to Solaire.
Now, just say a prayer at the altar of sunlight, right there. Then you shall know the brilliance of our sun.
Solaire is just a beginner. He may be confused himself just how to begin a sun, but he understands that one can be started, and he knows that it will take sacrifice, just as Gwyn's sun takes sacrifice. Solaire has already been sacrificing himself. He is sacrificing his time, energy, and blood on his quest. He risks his life in every battle, and each time he loses it, he risks going hollow. But he knows this is just the beginning, for to find his own sun will only be the beginning of a lifetime of sacrifice. As Solaire searches, he begins to lose hope. He becomes so desperate for a sun that deep in the Chaos realm, he will accept an imitation. When a Chaos bug latches itself onto Solaire and feasts on his golden head, he sees a beautiful light, just like a sun, come into form. In his desperation, he believes that the Sunlight Maggot is the answer to this fading age. But he is only wrong, not crazy. Do we not use the Sunlight Maggot ourselves when in the dark? And is a parasitic maggot that gives the benefit of light any different to the parasitic bonfires that feed on our flesh to provide the light of the sun? Gwyn knows this dark truth as well as Solaire, and this maggot, in its small way, is a perfect analogy for the society of Gwyn, and Miyazaki knows it too. Once again, the symbolism in his designs shows the depth of his message. Look at Gwyn's crown. Gwyn's crown is very unimpressive. It's in need of a polish even back when he was young. It isn't symmetrical, it isn't even gold. It has a very unique and bizarre shape, points that taper unevenly at asymmetric distances, a shape that is very reminiscent of Solaire's Sunlight Maggot. Now, we are not suggesting that Gwyn's crown is literally a sunlight maggot fashioned into a crown, just that the design similarities are remarkable and, most likely, deliberate. If the prongs weren't similar enough, look at the face of the sunlight maggot at the position of the forehead, and then look at the same place on Gwyn's crown. They are designed to be remarkably similar because to wear either means sustaining the life of light with your own sacrifice. Even if you save Solaire, what happens? He will fight Gwyn and eventually give himself as fuel for the flame, to sustain the light. This act is the same process as the sunlight maggot, just much more effective. Miyazaki's message is clear. Society is sacrifice, a parasite of sorts, but with benefits like a sun for all. And it is not just the followers who sacrifice themselves for society. Leaders are compelled to live a life of sacrifice too. Miyazaki's representation of society is captured perfectly in these two crowns, and in the tragedy of Solaire's quest. Solaire wasn't crazy, he just understood all this before we did, and accepted a shadow of the real thing.
But when I peer at the sun up above, it occurs to me, what if I am seen as a laughingstock, as a blind fool without reason? Well, I suppose they wouldn't be far off.